Yeah, hi folks. Welcome back to Year 10 Ancient History for Term 2. I hope the holiday break has been kind to you and to your family and that you're ready to jump back into it. This term we're going to continue our investigation of the reign of the Emperor Nero after having looked at the context of his reign in week 10 last term, when we looked at basically the 1st century AD and got to hear about what the Romans were like and what it was like living in Rome at that time. So your week's work will be distributed to the class notes section of your OneNote. You'll need to complete the set work in this space. All right, so this allows me to easily give you feedback and to monitor your progress. If you complete the work outside of that space, it makes it more difficult for me to find, and if I can't find your work, it's classed as being incomplete. Okay, so if you saw the news last night or had a look at it yesterday, you're probably aware that there was a few technical issues with the rollout and the startup of Term 2 in other schools. So just to cover ourselves for this week, I'm also going to be emailing you that work that I'm pushing into the class notes section as a PDF. So I'll send that to you via email through your college email address. It's exactly the same work. If you just get into that, if your OneNote isn't syncing or what have you, you can access it there and you can get started in working on those activities. And we'll run through that with you in a little while. Okay, so questions about the work or about anything to do with the course can be asked through the chat feed in our team. Anything more personal, such as, if you're ill or someone in the house is crook or something that's, that's of a more personal nature that I need to know, you can just email me those things, okay? But please remember that when we're communicating via email, we're formatting those emails appropriately. Your assessment task this term will be a short response to stimulus exam. This involves paragraph responses to unseen questions. And you'll be assessed on your ability to comprehend, analyse, synthesise and evaluate historical sources and communicate your ideas. So these are the basic thinking skills that you can, that we've been working on as historians since year 7. So we're basically refining and extending those skills this term. The big thing with that is that they are transferable. You will use those thinking skills in every other subject that you do in your senior studies. So that's what you can take away from this term's worth of work. Even if you're not coming back to us in second semester, there's still things that you can get from this course, no matter if you're staying with us or not. Okay, so that's a good way to develop those skills that you can apply those in other places. Starting next week, we'll also be having a live session where we'll be reviewing work. We'll be having discussion about what we're doing, about the topic at hand and how things sort of click together. It'll be an opportunity to ask questions and just connect as a group of historians. This is a different style of learning. Okay, I've been teaching for 25 years or so, and I've never done anything like this before. Okay, I've spent a lot of time in the last month or so looking into it, looking at the background to it, how to do it, what works, or what's more effective. So it's a first time experience for you doing this. It's a first time experiencing for your teachers as well. We will get there with it. Okay, so we'll be looking after you. We're not going to spring anything on you. We're not going to make life. We're going, as those of you that know me know that I try to make life as simple as I can for you. That will continue. What we're doing won't replace or replicate a normal classroom lesson, okay? But it will still allow you to learn. It'll still allow you to develop as a thinker. All right, you're going to need to persist. You're going to need to be organised, and you just got to be prepared to muck in and have a go. But I know that you're up for it. Okay, so I've hopped over now into our OneNote and looking at the package of work that I'm going to get you to look at this week. 2 activities. Okay, the first is a simple timeline activity where I'll give you a list of some key events in Nero's life. All you've got to do is just do a little bit of background research and drop some dates into those just to get an idea about the story and when key things happened in Nero's life. Okay, I've also given you a couple of links here that you might want to use. For an activity like this, Wikipedia is absolutely fine because we're just gathering information. All right, we're not looking for opinion or anything like that. So that's why I've included Wiki there for you. It's a good starting point in an activity like this. All right, activity 2 will get you then to have a look at activity 2 then will get you to have a look at, excuse me, a documentary by an English historian and actor, Tony Robinson. Any of you that are familiar with the Blackadder series will recognise him straight away. And this documentary looks at the life of Nero. Okay, it's about 55 minutes long. You can watch it in chunks. A bit of a spoiler alert: some of the stuff that Nero obviously does is quite can be confronting. But you know, it's basically it's as it happened. It's the parts of his life that occurred. So just be aware of that when you're having a look at it. There's nothing graphic or violent or anything overly violent in it, but just be aware that there might be some confronting stuff that pops up. Now that link may work in your standard browser, but you might want to just use Firefox or Microsoft Edge to ensure that you get that okay. So while you're watching that documentary, you're going to do a little bit of a PMI analysis of it as you go through. So pluses, positive things about Nero's reign that you can see, minuses, the negative things about his reign, and anything interesting that might pop up there that sticks in your mind. So here, as I've said, as an example, I've got an entry in each column for you. So Nero was able to maintain power for an extended period of time. He's one of the bad boys of history. He was mad, but he still managed to maintain power for 12 or 13 years. So he must have been capable of doing something right, or something must have been going on that allowed him to stay there. Okay. Minuses, well, there's a lot of dead bodies sort of follow Nero around, okay? His adopted father, the Emperor Claudius, who preceded him, dies quite quickly. And the implication there is that Nero, or most likely, according to the sources, that his mother, Agrippina, poisoned Claudius, who was also Claudius was her husband. Okay. Interesting points. And this comes back from our work in week 10. We know that he was a direct relative of Augustus. He could trace his family line all the way back to the first Julio-Claudian emperor through Agrippina, his mother. Okay, so those two activities there. So you should be able to get, I'd say, at least 10 to 12 dot points across that table quite easily from the video. As I said, you might want to break it up into little chunks just to make it a little bit more digestible for you. But it's not a bad watch, and it gives you a really good overview of an evaluation of Nero as an emperor. Okay, so we're going to leave it there for now. That's the week ahead. If you've got any questions, please remember to go to that chat feed, and we'll sort things out. And if there's any other problems that I can need to be aware of, you can email me. All right, guys, thanks a lot for that, and have a good week. Cheers now. Bye.